everyone, and welcome to PSBN's flagship program, Pretend Football. Now, I am SIke Manders. With me, as always, is Maul Paderis. Maul, what just a humdinger of a week two.
Yeah, now for week one, we had some very close matchups. We saw the rookies came out. We had to see how they were going to test the waters against these wily league veterans. This week, not so much.
No, there were a lot of misfires, a lot of miscommunications, and some truly abysmal scoring. But we're going to break all of that down for you following next.
Now our matchup this week takes us to the briny confines of the classic bread and butter bowl, where the 1-0 Cumberland Crew face off against the twitching stamens of the 1-0 Georgia O'Keeffe Vagina Flowers. Now, I do have to warn you, many bad choices were made on this day. Coach Marion pushed out her pulsating pedals onto the pitch. Team High producer George Put 'em Down Pickens scored 20.7 points, spearheading the attack. It's always a pleasant time when we discuss kicker points here on the broadcast. However,
kicker points,
however, not when they're on the second most on the team, as Jake the Man Cow Moody kicked up 14. Mike Williams caught 12.6 points. Nice. But the rest, who knows what playing football really means to these men. Nick Avert Your Eyes Chubb was off to a roaring start, scoring 6.4 points before he decided to go full ostrich leg. Butter Baker was on IR all week, yet somehow rolled out into the starting lineup. It's got to hurt when you leave a guy like Captain Kirk Cousins and his 32.3 points on the bench. By the sound of it, you'd think that the Pickle Boys ran off with this one, wouldn't you? Yeah, not so fast, my friends. Justin Herbert was solid, helming the Crew to 25.25 points. Terry, not a Redskin McLaurin, added 13.9 to the line. And Tremaine Edwards was a linebacker possessed, scoring 12 and rounding out the top three. The Crew weren't without their own miserable mishaps, choosing Darnell Mooney, who scored precisely 0 points, still better than short order. Jamar Chase didn't live up to the projections, only scoring 5.6 points. Certainly he was chasing something, but it probably wasn't the football. Bench Blues were all over the pickled pine, as TJ the Big Loogie Hawkinson scored 22.1 points, and champion of the first order, Kylo, I got that wrong, didn't? Yeah. No, it's Kyren Williams scored 27.1. Golly, this was gross. In the end, the Pickle Boys salt the stamens of the Flowers 90.55 to 78.9. Now the 2-0 Crew look to continue their delicious winning ways, while the Flowers search for some new fertilizer to strengthen their roots.
Well, Pretend Football fans, there is not much that we can't pass up here at SIke Scalpel, but I will be goddamned if we pass up a good old-fashioned Kentucky-style backwoods woodshed shellacking. That's right. Well, the crowds were flamboyant at the Blue Oyster Memorial Stadium as the home favorites, Funky Butt-Lovin', took the perfume field to oppose the Knights of the King of Limbs. God, that's so cumbersome to say. In a football battle projected to be a slobber-knockering of epic proportions. Coach Andrew sounded the charge, and it was answered by James Conner with 16.6 points. He was followed up by Old Faithful QB Deshaun Watson with 13.9 points, and the living God Amon-Ra St. Brown with a divine 11.7 points. The rest, just a flaming pile of colorful garbage. Exhibit A, Julius the Cracker Chestnut, who managed a spectacular 1.5 points. Just as a frame of reference, I score 1.5 fantasy points by opening my eyes in the morning and willing myself to record for PSBN. That's it. That's 1.5 right there. Now, somehow, the Crackers' shameful display was outdone by former PSBN standout Dalvin Short Order Cook, who managed somehow to lose less than a point. It's the most inconsequential performance, and it should be worthy of some kind of award or perhaps like maybe a collar of shame. It's just dreadful stuff. Major bench blues situation. Adam, the Thielen, was left on the pine with 16.9 points. Just anyone, start anyone besides Dalvin Cook. Start Jose Emmanuel from the landscaping team. Those guys have hustle, unlike the Short Order Cook himself. Well, Coach Kylan did not disappoint. Didn't disappoint his mother by making the right choices. Cot Call was led by all-world pretend sports superstar, moving on up, Justin Jefferson with 19.4 points. Rashad White with 18.8 points. And Joseph the Groundhog Burrow chucking up all the point that a Joe Burrow could with 18.6 points. Geno Smith and Zach Moss, along with Marquise Brown, they were winners, but hey, they stayed on the pine. They were keeping it warm with a pile of lost points. But Cot Call didn't even need him. Not a single player managed to have negative points, which was quite an accomplishment. Golf claps. So what was the final tally? Cot Call 104.6 to 74.5 on the butt board. Just a one-sided, cringe-worthy spectacle of football destruction. But hey, that's what you joined up for, wasn't it, you sick freak? Maul? What a topsy-turvy week indeed. Some of these beatdowns, they can't continue like this.
No, obviously the really bad teams gotta find some ways to interact with free agency or some trades potentially to get themselves back in order. And of course, the winners, they need to rape and pillage, as the winners often do.
Indeed they do. Well, Maul, do you have any word of the week to sum up this?
Yeah, I really do, and I think that this week, what with some more injuries, ostrich leg, and we talked about Aaron Rodgers and J.K. Dobbins last week. It is obvious what everyone needs to do. Go out there and find some scabs.
Yes, absolutely. Well, again, I don't want you to have all the fun. I have.
Yeah, what do you have this week for us, Ike?
Well, I have a packet of Dr. Fung's Forever Food nutrition 100%. Guys, you're going to need that sort of nutrition to make certain that your team grows, to make certain that your team prospers. Look, if you got the ever-living shit stomped out of you, it's not so bad. Your players are maybe still alive. Pick them up. Feed them some Dr. Fung's Forever Food. 100% Wait, is it? It says 100%. Not guaranteed.
Is that Russian?
Does this say inspection date 1952?
Oh, I think that in Russian, I believe that says Best Buy.
Oh. It's likely a biohazard anyway. Well, hey, from all of us here at PSBN, this has been Pretend Football Now. Okay, here we go.
Pretend Football Now, Season 7. If you count all the times we've started.
Yes. We've done 7. Look, we're not responsible for work shortages.
That's true. The writer's strike. It's the writer's strike.
Okay, we are going live.
Oh, wait, can we do this because of the writer's strike?
Don't worry about it. I told them I paid them, but it's in wooden nickels. Enough!